For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop. Go. GNC. Go. Max. Go. Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Welcome to Becoming Universally Aligned. You are watching Rift Nation Network, and thank you for joining tonight. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, many more. So if you are on YouTube or Facebook, hit like and subscribe and set your notifications so you don't miss any of the shows. And I am your host, Cindy Waghorn, and we have a very interesting and I just love all about numerology and want to learn more. So my guest tonight is Sue Nadeau, and so you can find her. I have her website here on the ticker at the bottom. And many of you watching may have already seen Sue. She's been on Carrie Lynn's show, Spirit Switchboard. And yeah, so she is going to, she is an expert in numerology, and what she's going to go through our life path numbers and talk to us about that. She's actually going to work at mine, so it'll give you an example of how to calculate that. So get a piece of paper and a pen ready, and then you can walk through it with us. So I'm going to open this up and have Sue on here. Welcome, Sue.
Hi.
Good to have you on here. I'm not sure why this chat is looking so small. I'm going to actually just see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I do this before and I don't know why it doesn't look. There we go. That's a little bit better. I can read it now. See who's here actually. Okay, so so first let's go through this chat and we'll just say hi to everybody. So Linda Nelson is here. Hi, Linda. Linda has a show as well. So I think she is on Wednesdays. And Linda, oh no, Tuesdays, with Susan. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's at 3 p.m. So let me know, Linda, if I have that wrong. And Howie is here. Thank you, Howie. I had a little bit of an issue when I came in. I had to delete one of the where I was streaming to, so I'm not sure if that has to be rebooted, but I think someone can look into that for me. And Adam is here. Hi, Adam. And Kathy as well. Thank you for joining. And Denise is here. Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining. So, yeah, as I was saying, you'll know some of these people, and some of these people have also seen you on Carrie Lynn's show. So I will let you take the floor. Well, first, actually, I want to ask you, so how long have you been interested, and when did you first get into numerology?
Oh, I started, like when I was in public school, I started with the zodiac. And then I went to, kind of astrology. You know how when you just learn the signs. And then I got a tarot deck. And then I found out that there was numbers on there. And the numbers went with astrology. And it just went on and on. So I've been doing it for, oh God, since I've been about, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
been a
awesome.
long time, since I was in
Yeah.
public school. So in
It's
grade 7 and grade 8, I guess I started reading about it and all that kind of stuff. So, and then I just study, everybody's got their spin on it. So I study all kinds of numerology, and then I just put it together. And then when I do the readings, I do it just myself, the way I do it.
Yeah. So I do have a question for you too with so is there for numerology, right? Like is there something about being attracted to Roman numerals? Like a spiritual thing, do you know?
Oh, probably.
Yeah, because I don't know. I just whenever I look at the Roman numerals, I prefer to visualize them. Or like if I am doing visual, I visualize those numbers rather than our numbers that we would normally use. I just thought that was weird. I didn't know if there's a difference with that or
Well, once you learn the numbers, you can incorporate it with that, because on some of the tarot decks, they use the Roman numerals, right?
yeah,
So
yeah,
it all comes down to the same, so they got different ways that they add them up and everything, and a little bit of what they mean differently, but it all comes down to the same thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, yeah, so you can, once you learn the numbers, you can incorporate it, because it's all like a big web. The numbers go into the astrology and the houses and the degrees, and it goes into tarot. So like it's all joins together.
yeah. Denise is asking if you had an extra coffee.
No. No, this is nerve wracking. I haven't had any coffee.
Oh, goodness. Oh, that's funny.
No, not
Okay.
today.
Okay, so we are going to calculate our life path number.
Okay, so I'm going to do your life path, but I won't explain all the numbers. And then I'm going to do the personal years, so everyone will know what year they're in.
Okay.
Okay, and you just change the one number for that, and then I'll do a small mini reading for you. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so take your numbers. So Cindy is born in October 16th. Jeez, I'm shaking. I'm not even nervous. And it's
Uh,
no coffee. Okay, Cindy for October is a 10. So you would go 1 plus 0, and then you have 16. So it'd be 1 plus 6, and then it's 1969. So it's 1 plus 9 plus 6 plus 9. That adds up to 33. And you add the 3 and the 3 together, you get a 6.
Okay.
So you keep adding until you get one digit.
Okay.
Then, to see if you've got it added right, you would go October. The shortcut would be October is a 1, because the 10th month, the 1 and the 0 is 1.
Right.
The 16 comes down to a 7. The 1 and the 6 is a 7.
Yeah.
And the 1969 comes down to a 7. So you'll have 3 one-digit numbers, will be 177, and that's a 15, and it comes down to a 6. So you know both numbers are the same, so it's added correctly.
Okay. So you break down the month, then you break down the day, then you break down the year, and then add them individually.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, and you just keep adding until you get one digit.
Okay.
Okay, and then after, once you learn the numbers, you can learn, like, you know, what 2 digits mean and everything, but it always comes down to the 1 to 9.
Okay.
Okay, so when you have 177, your life path, how you present yourself and how you work through your lifetime, you're a 6. And the 6th life path is the caretaker. Okay, you're like a caretaker. That 6 comes down and it's on a rocker, right? It goes to the bottom, is rounded. So it's
Yeah.
like you're always, it's like you're taking care, you're in a rocking chair. You're taking care of everybody. But
Oh, wow.
also when you're a 6, you have to learn to take care of yourself also.
I'm still learning that.
Okay. So with that number, aren't we all? So with that number, you have a 177. Those are all straight lines. So you can be very stubborn, right? Because they're no rounded. There's nothing rounded there. They're straight, and the 7 is straight across the top. Where you get your softness is from your life path, the 6.
Okay.
Then you take so your life path number is a lucky number. It's a good number for you because that's how you resonate, right? And also the day you come in on. So your day number is one of your lucky numbers because out of 365 days, that's the day you picked.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So you're a 16. So the 16th of every month, the 7th of every month, because 1 and 6 is 7, and the 25th of every month are all good energy for you.
Okay.
Now, that's for everyone when you break down your numbers, okay? So if you're born on, say, the 3rd, it'll be the 12th, the 21st, and the 30th of the month. So you
Okay.
always go back to the one digit,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So has
Yeah.
everybody got that? Is that okay? Did I explain that okay?
I think they might be calculating. Linda says hi, Sue.
Hi. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the life path. When you look it up, just look up life path number and then put your life path in, and you'll find all kinds of information. Okay,
You know,
but your day of birth, like all those numbers are the numbers you come in on, and then you look for numbers that repeat, right? Because you
right.
have 2 9s and 2 6s and 3 1s. So then you start doing all that, but I won't get into that now. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
your life path is a 6. So now I'll go to the personal year.
Okay.
Now you take your month again. So you would be 1, do the shortcut, right?
Yeah.
And then the 7 for the 16. And then we add what year we're in. So we're in 2026. 2026 adds up to a 10, and 1 and 0 is 1. So in the universal number is a 1 universal year. So the whole world is in a new 9-year path.
Okay.
Okay, so the years go from 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9, 1 to 9. So when you get to the 9, you're going to start over on a new path. And whatever you don't let go in the 9, you take over into the next 9 years.
Oh, so you can't get rid of it in the first year if you deal with it.
Well, yeah, you can. You can
Okay.
do it still in a 1. You still got time in a 1 year. Okay,
Okay.
so I'll explain the years that everyone's in, and then I'll explain that 9 and the 1, how they come together. Okay,
Okay.
so you put your month, your day in 2026, and that'll give you your personal year for 2026.
Okay.
Okay. So if you're in a 1 personal year, so the universal year is a 1, but we all have different personal years. Okay, so if you're in a 1 personal year, it's a year of new beginnings. You can plant your seeds, your ideas. It's like you've got a fresh start. The blackboard is cleared off, and you start writing the things that you want, because you have 9 years to fulfill what you're dreaming of in this 1 year, or what you're working upon. When you get through your 1 year, the next year is a year of balance. And so the 1 year is ruled by the sun, the second year is ruled by the moon. And the moon has no light of its own, it reflects. So the moon is absorbing everything, right? So when you're in a 2 year, you support other people. You balance, and you have friendships and partnerships. 2 is like a teeter-totter, because you're balancing, and there's you and someone else. So you're going back and forth all the time. And you're taking in everybody else's energy, because that's what the moon does,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
It reflects whatever it's facing,
Okay.
right? So whatever person you're facing, that's how you're getting that energy. And for relationships, when you make the number 2, 2 is a half of a heart. That's an easy way to remember relationships, for the number 2,
Oh. Oh, that's neat.
right? So then you get through your 2 year, and you come to the 3 year. And out of the 9 year cycle, the 3 year is the fun year. It's a social year, it's a year to create, it's a year to have fun. It's like a spring, it's just all over the place, right? So there's not a lot of control in a 3 year. You just want to go and do what you want to do, and create new things. Because in the 1 year, you've started. In the 2 year, you've met new people, had new relationships. You're trying to balance. You're seeing everything differently. And then in the 3 year, you're creating, because you've got 2 different ideas. You've had 2 years to figure out. And then on the 3rd year, you're having fun trying to put it all together.
Okay.
Okay. So then when we come to the 4 personal year, this is a work year. So this is a year that you do the hard work, because you've had 3 years of getting it together. The 4th year, you put it together. You can think of a 4 like a square box. Everything's got to be even, everything's got to be aligned. You work and work and work, but also you work to get your freedom. So you work to disrupt everything, because when we go to a 5 year, 5 is the freedom. So you do
Okay.
your work. You want to make everything work. How can we make this work? Let's work and work and work and work. In a 4 year, you have to do the work. Okay?
So like it's creating your foundation, your
Yes.
foundational.
Yes.
Yes.
4 is
Okay.
foundation 2. The details. You like all the details in the 4 year. You're focused, you're serious. It's not like the 3 year. The 3 year, you had fun. The 4 year, you focus and build. You start really getting it together. And then you work so much in a 5 year, you want your freedom. Five's ruled by Mercury, and that's like the telephone, the messenger. You like to talk, you like to express yourself, you like to see what everybody else, you're curious, you like to try everything once. It's just like a big old roller coaster. right? And it's
Yeah.
like the three and the fives are all over the place. They like to see because they're curious.
Right. Okay.
So after we had all this freedom in the five is like a crossroad too. You can change direction in a 5 year. So if you want to move and you're not in a 5 year, you still make the move. But in a 5 year, it's easier, right?
I've
Because you're at the crossroads.
I've heard people talk about that. It's a good idea, like if you are, say in corporate work or something like that, that every 5 years it's a good idea to go to something different. I don't know if that's because of stagnant or whatever, but that's so interesting that you say that 5 years is a good time for a change or
Yeah.
to switch roads. Yeah.
Yeah. And two, five is good for traveling, right? Because
Oh,
Mercury is air. So it's
okay.
good for traveling. Okay. And then when we get to six is ruled by Venus and it's love. And it's the caretaker. So you're taking care of other people. You might meet somebody in a 2 year, get engaged in a 4 year when you're building foundations, and get married in the 6 year.
Okay.
It's marriage. It can be divorce. All the numbers have the negative part too, right? Um, it's taking care of other people, taking care of what needs to be done, and taking care of yourself. Okay. Sometimes it can be a health number, but I don't get into health and all that kind of stuff, right? Because
Okay.
it's the same as caretaking, right?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
caretaking because somebody needs some care.
Right. Right.
Okay. Then when we come out of the year of caretaking, we come to a seven. Now, seven is ruled by Neptune. So it's like the soft music and the fog and art and just relaxing and creating. But it's like going down rabbit holes. You're going to find your truth. You're going to look. Seven is like an FBI. They want to know. They want to know what's going on. So when you're in a 7 year, sometimes too, you can become depressed because you can be alone a lot, right? Because you're trying to figure stuff out for yourself. So when we're in a 1 year, that 1 year is more aggressive because it's the sun, right? It's bright, it's shiny, it's hot. And then when we come to a 7 year, the seven is Neptune, it's inward work. So the
Okay.
one is the outward, you apply yourself outwardly. The seven is inwardly.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you're searching for yourself.
Okay.
And it's good, like it's good for everything. These are just the basics, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking, you're searching, and then when you come to the 8 year, the eight is a number of empowerment. It has a lot of power behind it, and it is like a boss and a CEO. And when you come to the eight, you get what you've built from the four, the five, the six, the seven, and now the eight, you got it. So you're either making good money in an 8 year or you're empowering other people, but you get your strength in an 8 year.
Okay.
Okay, because you've spent the 7 years after you planted the seeds in the one, you've got that 7 years where you've been working on this 9 year path.
Eight is the strength card in tarot, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you do the number eight, there is no beginning or no end. It's like a racetrack, right? You just keep going
Yeah.
around and going around and going. So whatever you focus on, you give power to. That's where you get your strength, right? Your focus, if it's positive or negative, you're building on that. And that's where the strength comes from. The focus from the four, there's two fours and eight,
Okay.
and then the eight doubles up.
Okay.
And you
I
have,
have, oh, sorry. I have a question here too. Mish is driving and listening, and Lois is saying hi.
uh,
And also, Mish is asking, can you get stuck? Example, in a 7 year.
oh, for sure, because it's like going down a rabbit hole. right? You go down so deep, and you just get focused on stuff, and you've got to wait to come back out. You got to make yourself come back out, or you come back out in the 8 year, right? So it's like the inward journey when you're in a 7 year of
Okay.
you're searching for yourself. Like in the 6 year, taking care of other people, so you're involved with other people. In the 7 year, you're alone. You're not lonely, but you're alone. And it's a quiet year. It's not a social year. It's a year to read, watch movies, do your research, and it's just quiet because it's ruled by Neptune, right? The fog. You're not clear.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
that okay?
Yeah. I
And
think.
when you're in an 8 year, it's good to walk or to exercise, because you can get stuck in a 7 year too, or an 8 year too, sorry. Because you know how the eights go like that. You can get stuck on this bottom. You get tired, you get weak, you've got so much strength of, empowering other people or getting back everything that you've put out, that you don't keep going and go back up to the top and appreciate what you've done. So you get stuck, or your ego can go on the top, and it's like, I've done this, I did this, I got this, and I got this, and I got a raise, and I own the building, and blah, 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 blah. And you don't go down and realize how you've worked to get it. You're too much up on top. So it's good to exercise, even for fours, because they're so details, right? They're detail, detail, detail. And the 8 is like focused on what I have, but it's the racetrack. There's no stopping it. It goes on and on. So when you exercise, you keep that energy going in your body so that you know where you are. You stay present.
Right. It's so, I wonder if there's something to be said about, I have seen some people do write the 8 as two circles rather than the infinity. Have you
Oh, for
seen?
sure. Because
Yes.
that would be heaven on earth. So
Oh,
what's grounded and what your spirituality is.
neat. Nice.
And then we come to the 9. So when we come to the 9, it's time to let go of the 9 year cycle. So you can let go with compassion, because you understand, you have the wisdom, you've seen all those 8 years, and you know where you're at now. And if you don't know where you're at now, you have a different outlook on life because of what you went through. So you can let go because you understand what you've went through. And as you're letting go, it's like cleaning out a closet. You're taking out the old towels and you're putting new ones in. And that is your 1 year. You're starting with new towels and taking out the old. So the 9 is understanding and compassion, because you have all the other years ahead of you, right? You've aged 9 years, so you're a different person than when you started the 1 year,
Oh,
right? And then when you
yeah.
come to the 9, it's like, this is what I need to move forward. This is what I've been through. I don't want this. It's time to move on. So you pick and choose, but you have 2 years to pick and choose, because you're letting things go and you're rearranging your life for a new 9 year path. And then in the 1 year, you're starting to plant what you have. Okay, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is what I'm going to do.
When I think of the 9, so the 6, I think of the rocking chair, like you say, or maybe pregnancy or something. And then the 9, I always think of that, the top being the head. So like you're filled with the knowledge or something like that. That's neat. Adam is saying 8 has always been his favorite number.
That's good, because 8 is a strength number,
Yeah.
right? And it's a power amount. And if you stay with the 8, whatever you focus on, it has the power to make everything better, right? If it's positive stuff.
Yeah. So that's good. Yeah, I wonder that too, about kids, when they're playing hockey or sports, whatever, and they get to pick their jersey for whatever reason. And so that's how kids seem to like certain numbers. I guess sometimes it's because, they're someone they like that is in NHL maybe or whatever has a certain number, they choose that. But I think we do have favorite numbers at a young age, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, some
Yeah.
some kids just like, it's funny how they just know what they want. And sometimes too, it's the player that they watched, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, where they see their numbers from.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then so going to 10, so there really isn't a 10 or a 0. It goes back to, or is there?
Okay, some readers use the 10, and the 10 is the wheel of fortune, right? So you go back to the 1, but if you're at a 10, it's like the 1 has power to start again. Now, a neat thing too with a 0, the 0, when you look at a 0, it's nothing or it's everything, right? Because 0 adds power. And that's like the 2 8s when you said they
Yeah.
build separately, right?
Yeah.
Because 0, you've got 10, 100, 1,000. If you keep adding a 0, you get a higher number. But if you can imagine, if you look at a 0, you see nothing. But if you could walk behind the 0, like the Fool card in the tarot, and if you could look through the 0, and I think of Alice in Wonderland too, through that mirror. But if you could look through the 0 from behind, you would see the whole world of possibilities, right?
Neat.
So if you add 0 to any number, you get power. So it just depends if you want to see it all or if you don't want to see it,
Okay.
right? Because it has the possibility of having nothing or having the world inside of it.
Wow. Well, that is something. I wonder if so let me just see. Oh, I guess that's the last question, but yeah, and I was thinking about that too because if so I am in a 1 year, or we all are in the 1 year.
Yeah, 2026 is a 1 year. So we've just left a 9 year cycle. Okay, so we left. So we're still in that transition. We're at the bookends between 9 and 1. So we're at the bookends right now. And so we're still at new beginnings. Okay, but for you, you're in so we're all in a 1 and you're in a 9. So you're like majorly moving around.
Yes. I feel that. I feel
Okay,
that.
yeah, because the world on the outside, the world is new. We're starting a new 9 year path. And for you personally, you're letting go to start new next year, right?
Okay.
So, and when you add 9 and 1 together, you get a 10, which is a 1. So,
Okay.
like, you could have almost like a double 1, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you said so the one in the 7 or 117 being stubborn, I've been told that quite a few times by people that I'm very
Oh, yeah.
stubborn.
So
Yeah.
the 1 is ruled by the sun, and it's first. It's the first number. It's very independent. And the rest of you guys can follow me if you want, but I can do this on my own. It's okay
Yeah.
if I go alone,
Yeah.
right? So that's where the stubbornness comes in. And then when you have the 7 is as strong as a 1, but it's inward strength, right? So as that sun is so bright and shiny and doing its thing, it's got that much strength inside, but people don't see that. It's like the FBI. They never see the FBI, right? So
Yeah.
you've got all that strength inside. So if you can't lead, you can watch the one that's leading and say, she's not doing that right. She should be doing this.
Oh, goodness.
Right. So you have a lot of strength. That's why you won't bend, because
Yeah.
you're as strong inwardly as outwardly, except you don't show your inward strength. You would be quiet about that. So you
Yes.
would let other people lead and not say anything. And seven is a very spiritual number, right? There's
Yes.
like the 7 days of the week. God, did the 7 days. And
Yeah.
then the seventh day was the day of rest. So it's too has a lot of spiritual.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Linda's saying stubborn is a wonderful attribute. Yeah. And you know what? Maybe so yeah, as a kid, yeah, I do remember my dad saying that I was stubborn. But and but I don't think that I was really showing it outside of the home that I was stubborn. It was more when I was older that I started, showing everyone that yes, I am stubborn. But anyhow, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I think because sometimes I get this decision in my head and I'm going to stick through it because I'm also a Libra and we like to change our mind a lot. So when I know that this decision is good, sometimes I hold it and don't want to change that just for the fact, right? That I don't want to fall into that indecisiveness, right?
Right, because
That makes sense.
October is the one that leads, and you've got that zero, the
Oh,
power to lead the others with your own ideas.
yeah. Yeah, and so I can feel that too, that I'm kind of on the in between because I just moved in oh, it was in December. And I kind of made like a really quick spur of the moment decision to get here. And I'm just finding that I need more space, it was a quick decision, but I wasn't going to say it was wrong. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lois is saying, or is it better to get you to do a numerology reading? Oh, what is a good, sorry, I skipped one there. What is a good book to learn this? Or is it better to get, to contact you for a reading?
Oh, you know what I do? Just get a book and just start. You know how you can get on Amazon and they'll show samples and you can read inside the book? Just go
Oh,
and look inside the book and you'll find what you need. I bought so many books, I didn't even know, I couldn't even understand the things when I first bought them because I didn't know what I was doing. I
okay.
always do everything backwards. I go to the university books and then I start at kindergarten after I understand it all.
Yeah.
But go, or the color you like of a book. That's what I always do. You look at the outside of the book and you think, oh, it's good, because I've bought some books I wish I wouldn't have bought. And then I have other books that I just love. I wish I would have bought them first. So I can't really say. But there's one lady that the website is Felicia Bender. She's got a nice site to read on.
Okay.
And the world numerology, that's good too. It's easy information to understand.
Okay.
Okay, because it goes, some of the
Felicia
book,
Bender.
Felicia
Felicia
Bender,
Bender.
yeah.
Okay.
Because some of the books you get, they've got, they go into so much information and you don't really need it at the beginning, which I thought I did, which I didn't, right? And then
Yeah.
just start with the basic
Yeah.
numbers, and it comes easy after that. I did mine backwards, but it's, you know, that's
Um,
just the way it is.
and so, Now, do you also teach tarot? Did you
Yeah,
do?
I've done classes. I started doing classes, and I've done a tarot class, a numerology class, and then next month I'm doing a Lenormand Oracle class, and then another numerology class.
Now, are they online or are they in person?
No, they're on in person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
not great on computers. That's why I've never done any online. So they're always like I always go to places to do them.
Yeah. Oh, that would be good. You could always get someone to record it too and have it online
Oh
if
yeah.
you wanted. And then I was just thinking that if you had it recorded and then not had it public on YouTube or something, and then if someone wanted to do it and watch it, they could e-transfer you and then you would give them access to it. So, oh, there's, yeah,
Oh,
that,
I just never went that far with it yet. I just
oh,
started, I did a few shows and I spoke at a few places. And then I just did a few teaching ones just to see what it was like, if I could do it, because you know what it's like talking in front of a group of people, right?
yeah,
But I
yeah,
didn't mind it. I kind of like doing it. Sometimes when I do readings, there'll be two or three people come in, and I'll say, just come together, and I'll tell you all the beginning, and then I'll do the rest of it, like the tarot part of it, and that separately. Because I'm going
okay,
to tell all three of you the same thing about your numbers. I'm going to explain your numbers to you.
right,
And now I don't mind that. I'm finding now it's easier to do a group than to do the readings, right?
yes,
You could only do so much with the numeral. Like you can do letters and all that, but that's more advanced, right?
yeah,
And like a lot of people don't know about numerology.
yeah. Well, and I think that we relate like for signs and synchronicities when we're seeing the 111 on the clock or things like that, when these numbers are popping out to us, we're starting to recognize because they do fall into kind of the same. I haven't heard of 5 for traveling though, but it kind of gives you spirit numbers and we're understanding the meanings of those numbers. So I think people are really interested in it for sure.
Oh yeah.
And but I'm just wondering too, like, and I think Mish was saying that when she was saying, can we get stuck in that year, stuck in a 7 year, or we can get stuck in any year. But if we keep moving forward, I think the years are going to be easier if we're accomplishing those things that we wanted to, right?
The only year I think is the hardest would be the 7, because you're so busy up to the 7, and then it's a year of rest. It's a pause year, right? And so then you get halfway through the year, like 6 months of pausing, and it's like you wonder what's going on. You don't feel like you're accomplishing anything because you're not outgoing like you usually do. You want to be left alone. You want to be quiet. You want to read. You don't want to go out. And I think that year is hard, but it's good. It's a good year. You get to learn a lot about yourself and, when it's quiet,
Yeah.
but you can get stuck in any year, right?
Yeah.
Because you get so focused and you find what you're looking for and you just get stuck there. And then the years move on and it's like you just don't feel like you're aligned or something like that. But if you do keep moving along, but you can't follow everything right to the
Yeah.
right, because you have your year and then you have a personal month.
Right.
So
I was wondering too, so just going by the month, day, and year, does anyone ever add time, like your birth time, or is it just that the day itself?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, the time too, because if you have like a lot of ones in your birthday, and then if you're born, like say 112 in the morning or whatever, like it's two more ones you got to add to your chart, right?
But does that technically change your life path number?
No,
Okay.
no, that's
It's just
separate. Right,
okay.
you have your life path number, and then you have your name number,
Okay.
right? That would be different.
Okay. Okay. I just wondered if it changed the number that you were dealing with. Lois is saying thank you for that. And angel numbers are always around us. Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah.
And Mish is saying thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so what else was I going to ask you? I think I kind of talked about that. Like whenever I see so that you said the number 4 is about details and things like that. And whenever I think of the number 4, because that's sometimes the symbol for or Jupiter, the sign for Jupiter kind of looks like a 4 to me. So I kind of think of like abundance when I think of that. But number 4 is also about creating your foundation, right? Like building is what
Yeah,
you were
so
saying.
that can be abundance, right? You can
Yeah.
build a lot in 1 year if you know what you're going to build,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because abundance doesn't always just fall on us, right?
No.
We have to
Yes,
yeah.
you got to work at it.
We got to have our arms up for it for
Yeah.
sure. And then yeah, and I don't know, too, for some reason I know Saturn is more of an H, but in a way that it kind of looks like a 2 for me when I think of it.
Of
Because I do,
Saturn?
yeah, because I do a big tail. Like I just go down for 2, but no. I like that when you gave me some of the things. So 6 is Venus. And then what did you say for 8?
Eight
What
is Saturn.
Saturn?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Those, it's like the rewards for the hard work that you've done. Because Saturn wants us to focus, right?
Right.
And you pause with Saturn too. It's like he's saying, look here, this is what you need to be looking at. And so when you come to an eight, eight is like the taskmaster, the CEO, they have made it to where they
Okay.
want to be. And
So,
nine is Mars.
oh, 9 is Mars. Okay.
Nine is like fire. And it's like the heat, the understanding. So the sun is one and Mars is nine. They are both hot, they're both fire. The one is softer than the nine because the nine is like full force because it's ready to let go, right?
Yeah. Powerful. Okay. That's neat. Um, and then so three is the creating too. Oh, what was I going to say about that one? Oh, did you say it was about communication as well?
Yeah,
Mercury.
communication and creating.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Neat. So what would if someone knew their life path number and got to so do we embrace that, or if we know some of the negative things we can work on softening that or adjusting that about us? Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
for sure. Once you know your numbers, you understand yourself in a different way, right?
Yeah.
So, right? So sixes is all about caretaking, family, marriage, divorce. It's got all to do with your close relationships, taking care of the people that are closest to us,
Right.
right? So the
Yeah.
negative part of that would be like you didn't care. So If you didn't care about anybody and you found out you had a 6 life path, you might start thinking, you know what, I should care a little bit more,
Yeah, for sure.
right?
Yeah.
But if you didn't know that before, it wouldn't bother you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in your next lifetime, you would come in as it again and do it again, right?
Yeah,
Until you do get it, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Linda is saying she loves it when you come on the shows and talk about numerology.
Oh,
Yeah,
thanks. Thank you.
I do too. I was, oh, you know what? My favorite show was when you and Joni were on with Carrie Lynn. And I think it even, there was a replay recently too, and I watched it and I laughed and laughed and laughed because you guys were talking about house numbers and it just tickled me.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so if we, okay, so if we find out that we are a life path 6, so it doesn't have to be a work thing, it can just be in the household as well, right? Being caretaker of the household, like,
Oh, yeah, like
yeah,
the caretaker of the house. Yeah.
yeah. So and if I think about my energy work and that, even though I'm not like hovering and constantly taking care, but that can kind of fit into that area, right?
Oh, for sure, because you're helping other people heal themselves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you are a caretaker by doing that.
yeah,
It's all about healing.
yeah. And I think like, and lately too, I've been noticing that I have been forgetting about the caretaking within, right?
Hmm.
And a lot of that. So that's an and I mean I say that to everybody all the time, that it starts here and that you can't help others until you're helping yourself, right? But I think sometimes we get on that path and, like, I mean, I'm creating a meditation, I'm giving it out to other people, but I'm not sitting and listening and doing it for myself,
Yeah.
with all of that focus on me. Okay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's so neat. Oh, here it is. It is interesting subject, Linda. Yes. Yeah. So I think that that really gave people a lot of information in that, in everything that you said. Now I wrote it down here too, just because I was going to compare it pretty much with what the tarot is. And yeah, because 7 is, I always think of spirituality too, but reflection as well. So did you say that the moon is part of the number 7?
No, number two.
Oh, the moon
So
is
number 2 is the moon, and number 7 is Neptune. So Neptune is foggy, and the moon has no light of its own. So those two are soft numbers.
okay.
And 2 is your subconscious, like the uh, intuition. What's after what's 2 in tarot? All I can think of is intuition. The high priestess, right?
Oh, yes,
Here's
yeah.
the high priestess.
The fool, magician, high priestess,
Yeah.
temperance is the next one, right? I don't know.
So if you want to take your tarot cards, you can um, add them up too.
Okay.
So October would be 10, would be the Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
16 would be the tower, right? Is that 16 tower? Yeah.
I can grab mine, but it sounds right.
Yeah. And then you've got 1969, which is 25, is the 7. So you got the Chariot. Or you have the Magician and 2 chariots. So you have everything on your table that you need. and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You just don't know how you're going to get there. The seven of the rabbit holes.
Do you know what that just gave me? This is has been my vision, that I get like one of those old Winnebagos or the small little trailer. This could be me. That could be my chariot, and I drive around
Yes, you're
and
two
do that.
sevens.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. Linda is saying thank you, and Keith is here, and he is late and just shared it out. Oh, yeah. So Keith's birthday, he's born in 1969 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he goes
So
down the rabbit holes like the
yeah,
FBI searching for the truth.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he does. I was just watching his show. So he's on right before me, The Otter's Den.
Oh,
And they do go down rabbit holes on their show with the conversations. So it's really good conversations. So yeah, if anyone does want to contact Sue, she is on Facebook as well and YouTube, and then your website is your name,
yeah.
www.sunadu.ca.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for coming on with
Oh,
me.
you're welcome.
Yeah, I've been really looking forward to this because I haven't really dived into it. And like I know about the thing about choosing your house number, but does something, anything like that. And I was looking at my post office box. Like it's not that I get to choose it, but when I moved to town, we don't get the mail right to the house. I have to sign up for that. And my post office box was 2038. And and I looked at that number. I thought that's a weird number. And then all of these things in astrology, and that's the year that we are going to be in all of this transition up until 2038. And I thought I knew there was a reason why I saw that number before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Hey, you know how much time have you got left?
oh,
You have,
we could have probably 10 more minutes if you wanted.
okay, I was just going to tell you about your number. I thought we were just about done. About your name, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you can put the letters into your name. No, that doesn't sound right. You can put the numbers to each letter in the alphabet. Okay, so for
Okay.
your name, you go 1 to 9, and when you come to 9, when you get to I, you go to 1 again, because I
Okay.
is the ninth letter. Okay,
Okay.
so Cindy, your C is a 3, your I is a 9, 5 is an N, D is a 4, and 7 is Y. Comes to 28, comes down to 10. Your name is even a 1,
Oh,
right? So now
yeah.
you've got 177 and a 1 for your name. And when you decode the names, so if you've got an odd number of letters, the middle letter is the hinge that nobody sees. And your middle letter is the N. And the N is an antenna. It goes beep, 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 beep. And it's the 5, it's the telephone, it's the messages.
Oh, neat.
Okay, so you're like your name even is a 1. So you're very direct, but you're also very curious and like to create with your 5. And before we go, do you want me to tell you about the master numbers? Do you want to do those?
Yeah, for sure. I'm
Okay.
just gonna say, oh, Keith is saying, so born November 11th, 1969, and yes, he is familiar with rabbit holes, he says.
Oh,
And Lois, so she was born July 7th, 1970, and she's in a lot of rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah, that's neat.
Yeah, and Adam says great show.
Oh, thank you.
And we both in those holes.
Yeah. They like to search. They're the searchers.
Live at the corner of the 11th and K. 1111. Oh, okay, yeah, so let's talk about master numbers.
Okay, so the master number, you can go all the way up with the master numbers. I want to do 11, 22, and 33.
Okay.
Okay, because it just, you can add up your birthday. I don't know. I don't think there's many birthdays that add up over 33, but there can be, I guess. But I think those are actually the main ones because 44 would be an 8. That would still come down to a single digit. But anyway, I'm only going to do the 3. I know we're running out of time here. The
Okay.
11, if you're born on the 11th or in November, you are the master messenger. You hold the light for others. Okay, because 11 has 2 ones, and that's the sun. Right? So you shine the light for others. You give others ideas. Just even in a conversation, you can tell somebody something and they'll be thinking, oh God, I was thinking about that and I didn't know what I was going to do. And it had nothing to do with what you were talking about, right? Like if I was saying, oh, I like your red shirt. And somebody wanted to, I don't know, they're picking out a car. They're thinking, oh, I'm going to get a red car. Something like that, right? So it's even little things like that that the 11s do for the rest of us. Okay, and they're stubborn because they're 2 ones. They stand like this and everything goes in between them, but they're like, I'm not moving. Okay, the 22 is the master builder. If you're born on the 22nd of any month, you are a good person to have in a group. You're a good team player and you will build whatever the group has got to do. You are the master builder. It's got 2 twos. The twos like the teeter-totter. They like to balance. They like to be in partnerships, relationships. They go on and on. They reflect because the 2 is the moon, right? So they reflect. What are we doing? Let me build it. I'll help you build it. What do we need? I'll tell you what we need. Let's get it and let's do this. So they're the master builders. Okay, they can build. So 11 can be dreamers, right? Because they hold such bright light. The 22 will say to 11, what do you want to build? Let's build something. They'll have the greatest ideas. 11s have the greatest ideas. The 22 said, we can build that. And they can do it. And then the 33, and what was your birthday added up to a 33?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
33 are the master healers and the teachers, right? Because 3 and 3 is 6. 3s are communicators. They create. They're the caretakers.
Oh
So
my
they are the healers and the teachers, the 33. So the only way you're going to get a 33 is if you add November with 22. Like your numbers add up to 33, but if you want a solid 33, you got to add 11 and 22 together. So
Oh.
anybody born on November 22, they would be, I bet you, like a shaman or something like that.
Really?
They'd make a great doctor. And 2, you can have 22 and a bunch of other numbers and add up to 33. But you know what I mean? When you have 2
Yeah.
master numbers, a 33 is.
Oh, that's so neat. I love
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
And then the one other thing I'll leave you with. When you see the 11:11 on the clock, a lot of times that's yes. If you're asking for a question, all of a sudden you see 11:11. Those are 4 ones. Ones are the beginners. They're the leaders. They're first, right? So it's like go time.
Yeah.
And when you see like 20 or 222 or 333. Now, I just read this the other day and I thought, was that ever nice? When you see the repetitive numbers like that, it's a message to let you know that we are never alone, because nobody believes in numbers until they see 111 or 222. And then it's like, you know what I see? But they don't believe in numbers. So when you see the repetitive numbers, it's like, acknowledgement that we are here. And I
Yeah.
thought that is nice for people that are alone, right? You are
Yeah.
never alone when you see those numbers.
Yeah. That's
Isn't it?
amazing. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
nice.
So, Linda is in the same boat as me. She has the N in the middle of her first name too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Ends are on the go, right? Because they're the antennas. They get their information, they bring it down, they go back up.
And so Linda is doing hypnosis therapy as well.
Oh, that would
Yeah.
be good, because 5 is Mercury, communication, speed, travel, air, right? Mercury is ruled by air, right? So that's good, because that would
Yeah.
be her hidden talent that nobody would see, that middle end.
Right.
And the tuning forks for you,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the singing bowls, the music goes through the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And the floor. I have like some of there's the one church up here. I think that the floor, it must just be plywood or floorboard or whatever, but I've had to put a couple blankets underneath and then also set the bowls on something else, and the floor is still vibrating from the sound of the of the one. It's such a deep tone, right?
Yeah.
So, and Lois is saying she's a 22. So, so
She's a
she
builder.
is the master builder. Yeah.
And relationships, right? There's two twos there.
And Keith is saying, yep, when you see the numbers, you need to pay attention to what you're thinking and or what's going on around you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I always do that too when I'm getting that buzz in your ear too. I always stop and think, okay, what was just going through my mind, or it's obvious, right?
Oh,
Because you could just be sitting there just doing something, writing something, and then all of a sudden you get that buzz. But yeah. Oh, there you go. Linda's saying, wow, that's neat. That was beautiful. So I want to thank you very, very much for coming on and going through all of that with us. That was just wonderful. I will, I'd love to have you back on and maybe even talk about tarot. I'll get a hold of you and we can talk about that, because I think that would also be very interesting too to talk about on here. Denise is saying, great show. Thanks for sharing, Sue. And Lois is saying, thank you for a great show. Love learning this from Sue. Yeah, I do too. You explain it so well. So
oh,
well.
thank you.
Yeah. And Keith as well is saying, great show. Good show.
Thank you.
Yeah. So thanks again, Sue, and have a good night. And we'll
Yes.
talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Have a great
Good.
night. Bye
Yep. You
bye.
too. Bye, everybody. Yeah.
Oops, I'm just going to take 1 second there. Okay. Okay, so thank you so much for everybody for joining us and sharing in the chat. I will see you next week, Monday at 9 p.m. Have a great week, everybody.